Tonight, as you settle into a comfortable position and allow your body to relax, imagine yourself traveling back to the coast of Maine in the year 1932. The world is quieter here. Far away from busy cities and crowded streets, a lone lighthouse stands on a rocky point overlooking the endless Atlantic Ocean. Similar lighthouses dotted the Maine coast during this era, where keepers lived isolated but purposeful lives, tending lights that guided sailors through darkness and fog. The lighthouse is white, tall, and steady. Its lantern glows softly against the evening sky. And tonight, we meet its keeper. His name is Elias Harper. Elias is 62 years old, with silver hair, kind eyes, and a gentle voice weathered by decades of sea winds. For nearly 30 years, he has cared for this lighthouse. Every evening, before darkness settles over the water, he follows the same peaceful routine, and tonight you will follow along. The sun is slowly sinking beyond the horizon. Golden light dances across the ocean. Small waves roll lazily toward the rocky shore below. Elias steps outside his keeper's house, carrying a brass lantern. The air smells of salt and pine trees. A few seabirds drift silently overhead. He pauses for a moment. This is his favorite time of day. Not quite daylight, not quite night. A calm space in between. He listens. The distant cry of a gull, the rhythmic sound of water against stone, the whisper of wind through the grass. Everything feels unhurried, peaceful, as if time itself has slowed down. Elias begins walking along the narrow path toward the lighthouse tower. His boots crunch softly on the gravel. Each step feels familiar. He has walked this path thousands of times, and yet he never grows tired of it, because every evening is slightly different. The clouds are different. The sea is different. The colors of the sky are different, and every night tells its own quiet story. Reaching the lighthouse door, Elias unlocks it with a heavy brass key. The door creaks gently as it opens. Inside, the circular staircase spirals upward. He begins climbing. One step, then another, then another. The stone walls are cool. The air carries a faint scent of oil and metal. As he climbs higher, the sounds of the outside world become softer. The only sound now is the steady rhythm of his footsteps. Up and up he goes, around and around, until finally he reaches the lantern room at the very top. From here he can see for miles. The ocean stretches endlessly into darkness. Small fishing boats move slowly across the water. Far away, tiny lights flicker along the distant shoreline. Elias smiles. Everyone is heading home, just as they do every evening. He carefully checks the lighthouse lamp. Everything is working perfectly. The glass shines clean and clear. The mechanism turns smoothly. The light glows warm and bright. Satisfied, Elias steps onto the narrow balcony surrounding the lantern room. The evening breeze brushes gently against his face. Above him, the first stars begin appearing, one by one, tiny points of silver scattered across a darkening sky. The moon rises slowly from behind a bank of clouds. Its reflection stretches across the ocean like a shimmering pathway. Elias has seen this sight thousands of times, yet it still fills him with wonder. Perhaps that is one of life's greatest gifts, the ability to find beauty in familiar things. The night deepens. The lighthouse beam begins its endless rotation, slowly, steadily, across the water. Again and again, a silent promise to every sailor at sea: you are not alone. You can find your way home. Elias watches the light sweep across the horizon. Then he settles into a wooden chair beside the window. On a small table rests a worn leather journal. Its pages are filled with observations collected over many years. Weather reports, ship sightings, personal reflections, little moments that might otherwise be forgotten. Tonight he opens to a blank page, dips his pen into ink, and begins writing. September 14th, 1932. The sea is calm. The moon is bright. The harbor is peaceful. Simple words, but meaningful ones, because they capture a moment that exists only once. This very night, this very sky, this very feeling. Hours pass gently. The ocean remains calm. The lighthouse continues turning. The stars drift slowly across the heavens. Elias occasionally rises to check the equipment, then returns to his chair. There is no hurry, no rush, only the steady rhythm of the night. Outside, a small sailboat appears on the horizon. Its white sail glows softly beneath the moonlight. The vessel moves slowly through the water, almost silently. Elias watches it for a while. He wonders where the sailors have been, what stories they carry, what dreams await them when they reach home. Then the boat disappears into the darkness beyond the harbor, and the night becomes quiet once again. Near midnight, a blanket of fog begins rolling across the ocean. Soft, silent, mysterious. The shoreline slowly fades from view. The stars disappear behind a veil of gray. Everything becomes gentle and muted. This is when the lighthouse is needed most. Throughout Maine's maritime history, lighthouse keepers often worked long hours during foggy nights, ensuring ships could safely navigate dangerous coastlines. Elias listens carefully. Somewhere beyond the fog, a ship's horn echoes across the water. Low, deep, distant. The lighthouse beam continues sweeping through the mist, a guiding star in the darkness, reliable, steady, patient, exactly as it should be. As the hours drift by, Elias feels grateful. Grateful for the ocean, grateful for the stars, grateful for the simple life he has built here. Not every life needs to be grand. Not every day needs excitement. Sometimes peace is enough. Sometimes purpose is enough. Sometimes a quiet lighthouse on a lonely coast can hold all the happiness a person needs. And perhaps that is why Elias has stayed here for so many years. Because this place reminds him that the world is full of gentle wonders, if only we slow down enough to notice them. Toward dawn, the fog begins to lift. The eastern sky turns pale silver, then soft pink, then gold. A new day approaches. Birds begin singing from the shoreline. The ocean sparkles beneath the first rays of sunlight. Elias stands once more on the lighthouse balcony. He watches the sunrise, the same sunrise that sailors see, the same sunrise that fishermen see, the same sunrise that shines upon countless shores across the world. And yet somehow it feels personal, as if the morning has arrived just for him. He closes his eyes, breathes in the cool sea air, and smiles. Another peaceful night has passed. Another dawn has arrived. And the lighthouse continues standing exactly where it belongs. Strong, quiet, steady, watching over the harbor, guiding travelers home, as it always has, and as it always will. Now, as the waves gently roll against the shore and the lighthouse beam fades into the morning light, allow yourself to drift peacefully into sleep. The ocean is calm, the stars are resting, the lighthouse stands watch, and all is well. Good night.